Hello, Muster0063 back for part 6 of Mega Man Base. Last time took out Magic Man, that was the halfway point, so 4 out of 8 Roadmasters taken care of. And that brings us to the 5th Roadmaster, who is Tengu Man. Yep, the second Roadmaster, after Astro Man of course, borrowed from Mega Man 8. And would you believe me if I said that Tengu Man stage in Mega Man Base borrows heavily from Tengu Man stage in Mega Man 8? Amazing. Regardless, this is one of the most annoying platform sections probably in the entirety of Mega Man's game. Not so much Base, but Mega Man at least. We have these green balloons which pop when Mega Man stands on them. We also have these freaking annoying cloud mist enemies, which, as we saw from Cold Man stage, just if you get kind of caught, will just kind of keep you dragged down. And in this auto-scrolling screen, are just absolutely deadly. If you get caught in them, you're pretty much just absolutely stuffed. You'll get caught up in the auto-scroller. And that balloon popping section there with the spikes on the ceiling, it is incredibly annoying with Mega Man to get through that without jumping too high to land onto the spikes. Not jumping off the balloon quick enough so that it basically just pops and you fall off, or not jumping far enough so that you, not jumping high enough so that you miss the spikes on the ceiling, but don't jump far enough to the next balloon. Oh my god, that's actually annoying as hell with Mega Man. This bit again, we've got more balloons. Thankfully, these ones you can actually just stand on without them without them kind of popping. If you shoot them, then they'll pop. But you can actually stand on these ones, and yeah, and you'll be fine. And there's no auto-scrolling, thankfully. And I'm taking kind of a lower route here. We'll see some of the upper routes a little bit later on. But yeah, might as well just play it kind of safe for this part of the Let's Play and take the lower route. But yeah, lots of bird enemies that throw projectiles, lots of cannons that are just annoyingly placed. Anyway, yeah, those two screens of Mega Man are not particularly nice. Admittedly, that second one, because there's no auto-scrolling, is not so bad, but still. The first one is, believe me. We get to this screen, unfortunately, and we get these two enemies which look a lot like Grenade Man, who kind of throw these look like grenades at us, and he keeps on this top one keeps generating these sodding cloud mist enemies, which just you have to take out quickly. They come from the most ridiculously annoying angle with Mega Man to hit. And yeah, those cloud mist enemies are just so prevalent in this stage, and they're just so annoying. Anyway, giant snake enemy there, and it's certainly best to take it out on its head, or deliver the final blow on its head. You will see later on what happens if you don't. But yeah, I would advise making sure that you basically aim for its head. I think it's only its final hit on the head that really counts. But yeah, try and aim for its head rather than its body per se. And I'm being very careful in this section because there's an annoying bit right at the end where Mega Man has to make a bit of a tight jump. It also becomes a little more tricky if you do what I just did there and expose a cracked pipe to have a gust blowing out. So now I have a gust that's going to be blowing me back, making this jump all the more awkward. There's an annoying Met up there, which is just right in the way, of course, which you need to kind of either kill or fake down to the bottom, and then you can get it, and then you can kind of get through without taking a hit and getting knocked down. But yeah, annoyingly placed Mets, annoyingly placed enemies. At least Mega Man can shoot through walls, and that does help on this screen dealing with these tellies. And yeah, whoops, don't go too early there. I was a bit conscious, or a bit nervous that a telly was gonna spring out there right at the most awkward time and knock me back into the spikes. I also cracked another pipe there, which was probably a bad idea. If you don't hit the pipes and you're kind of careful with your shots, you can just kind of leave them be, and you won't have the gust to kind of contend with. But I was shooting at tellies, I was also going a bit gung-ho, and I shot at the pipe, and I ended up making things really difficult for myself. The gust bit in particular, and not just the multiple spawning tellies from multiple points, make that screen, and even the screen with all the tellies that we're going to see in just a moment, really freaking annoying. Another couple of Grenade Man enemies there as well, with the cold mist as well, I think. So yeah, another freakingly annoying screen. This jump is a bit tight as well. If you're really nervous, and you've obviously beaten Cold Man, then I would recommend using Ice Wall, but you certainly can make the jump without it. So yeah, but there's always a nervous little jump there, and I always like to just edge myself onto the the edge of that platform just to make sure I'm going to make it. Crack pipe there that I again hit, but again there's like 3 cannons here, there's constantly spawning tellies, it's just a pain in the neck. It's almost, you feel like you really have to shoot, in which case you're almost bound to hit that crack pipe, and there's so much going on this stage. It feels like there's way too many enemies. Oh, and another cold mist thing just right there, it's completely ruined our day. With a cannon shooting at us as well. Fortunately the cannon decided it was going to shoot upwards there, so it didn't get me the second time, but oh, this cold mist thing's still hanging around. And I take ages here because I assumed that I could could just climb the ladder in one without having to land on the platform, but apparently not. So yeah, apologies for wasting your time there. Oh, on the last screen, there's another cold mist. Yay! I'd advise keeping the Sniper Joe busy by shooting at it so it won't attack you. Take out the cold mist and then try and deal with the Sniper Joe. Yet it still gets me with a solid grenade chuck. Yay! Oh, annoying freaking level. With an annoying freaking boss, at least with Mega Man. Much preferred the Mega Man 8 version, as indeed it did with Astro Man. But yeah, he basically spends an inordinate amount of time hanging in the air. Incredibly hard to hit, by the way, even though he dips down so that you know to a height where you actually can get him. Even with charge shots, it's incredibly difficult. What I find with Mega Man to time out exactly when you can actually hit him. But anyway. Move set. So this move here, whether he shoots the tornado, don't get kind of caught in that. It's not the end of the world if you're maybe a little bit away from the edge of the screen, but if you're close to an edge, when the tornado gets you, then it will kind of like fling you off to one side, and yeah, you'll fall in the pit because of course there's bottomless pits on either side of the screen. That attack there, where he got me, is he kind of swoops. It kind of yeah, goes down to ground, or goes off the screen by swooping and then comes in. He will go 4 times unless he hits you, which he hit me on the first time. But he can then go high or low, and again with Mega Man, because he doesn't have base, he's double jump. Of course he doesn't, because he's Mega Man, not base. That can be really freaking annoying, and he'll always get faked out by it. He also has this attack here where he swoops in from the side and tries to clobber you. That is quite annoying to dodge with Mega Man. Again, it's pretty much more straightforward with base, and we'll see that in just a moment. But yeah, this is a tricky fight with Mega Man. It's all his moves are, apart from maybe the whirlwind attack, but he's hard to hit unless he's kind of down at ground level, despite the fact that he keeps bobbing up and down a lot. And a lot of his attacks are really, really hard to avoid with Mega Man, particularly when he swoops in, because it's difficult to tell whether he's going swooping high or low. And that attack where he just flies along the ground and tries to get you with his Tengu blade is just bleh. Anyway, we get Tengu blade. It can be used as a melee weapon up close to hit enemies. It can also be used to launch a blade at enemies as well. And we'll see its special ability, or an extra ability, or extra use of it a bit later, where you can actually bounce it off walls as well, which can be used to get some extra height to your attack and reach places that you perhaps otherwise couldn't. But yeah, anyway, Tengu Man stage is probably one of the most annoying, at least the stages, let's leave aside the boss for the moment, at least the stages to get through with Mega Man. Base, as he does pretty much with all levels, has an easier time, but with Tengu stage it is the most noticeable, I would say, by far, simply because he has a dash and a double jump. And we'll kind of see that immediately in this first section with the auto-scrollers. The fact that he can shoot in every which way direction as well really helps with taking out these cloud mist things quickly. As I say, if you end up getting stuck by them, you are pretty much stuffed, just because you saw how much time it took me to kind of like just dance around and shake them off. With the auto scroller, you're just going to end up into a pit, getting a wall coming along. But this section in particular, with the balloons there, because of course you can just fall off them and then double jump. That's far easier to obviously not go anywhere near as high that you hit the spikes, and of course you have the double jump to save yourself so that you don't just fall straight into the pit. And yeah. Super noticeable that it's easier with base. Particularly so again, since we've got the double jump here and you can shoot in every which way direction, is really helpful for taking out cannons and other enemies. It also means you don't have to really wait so much for the balloons if you don't want to. You can obviously make use of. I'm being a bit careful here, admittedly, not just kind of going straight gung ho. But if you're familiar enough with the stage, and you know where all the safe spots on the platforms are, you can pretty much just double jump and dash through it. Or a combination of those two things. Once you know where the safe spots are. With Mega Man, you can't do that. You have to wait for the balloons, and it's just tedious. Base does at least have an easier time in this stage as well, just because he can much more easily shoot the cloud bits. You can kind of see the angle it's coming down at. It always starts at the top left corner and just kind of moves like vertically downwards. For Mega Man, that is a pain in the neck to hit. You're probably going to tend to be positioned on the left-hand side of the screen. If you're on the right-hand side of the screen, the bloody Grenade Man clone or whatever it is can kind of whack you with the grenades. But or there's an enemy on the right-hand side that you have to stay away from until you kill it first of all. But with base, you can just stay on the left-hand side at the bottom and just shoot up until you kill it. I also don't have to be quite so enemy clearing or clearing quite as many enemies on this screen. Still have huge trouble actually just hitting this damn Met. And again, trying to hit the Met without hitting the bloody The cracked pipe as well, creating this gust, is annoying. It obviously can be done, but maybe the best thing to do is just kind of let it walk towards you, fake it out, and don't bother trying to attack it at first. I mean, not that you can't make the jump once you've cracked the pipe, but still. And here's me actually getting through an area without cracking the pipe and making life a lot easier for myself. Unfortunately, this Grenade Man clone, particularly with these grenades, these are really freaking annoying to kill with base. Mega Man can kind of like charge shots, and he can kind of actually like take them out a lot quicker. Base's Buster again is a lot weaker than Mega Man's, and it takes a lot more hits to kind of like to obviously defeat them. By this point in time, I was getting fed up. I'd taken already about at least two hits on that screen. Just like, oh, just fine, I'll get up close and personal and just take you out as quick as possible. But yeah, that one at the bottom as well. It's just, you may have noticed on the Mega Man one that I kind of went up to that screen initially and then kind of felt better of it. I came back down, waited until I had a charge shot kind of lined up, and then took that enemy out really quickly. Again, with base didn't have that luxury. And that screen's just annoying whoever you're playing as. Mega Man, base, Blur. There's just so many tellies, so many cannons, and a frigging cracked pipe that you can just shoot open to allow the wings to take over. It's just nasty. And even this screen, I managed to somehow mess up the diagonal shot upwards to hit the cloud mist thing. So I didn't actually get got this time because the Sniper Joe was being a lot kinder. But even the cloud mist that would be a lot easier to hit with base, I somehow managed to screw up. But of course that brings us to Tengu Man again, and while this fight does take longer, because despite Mega Man's inability to hit Tengu Man a lot of the time, and base obviously can shoot upwards, yes, base can damage Tengu a lot easier, but of course it's a lot weaker, particularly when you're not using charge shots. And that clumsy hit there, where I just jump straight into him, I think is the only time I get hit, because as I said, all his attacks are so much easier to dodge. The swoop in, with Mega Man you either have to decide whether to jump or just slide under him, or indeed stay on the ground. Depending on what height he comes at. With base, that choice is you can just forget about it. Just double jump over him. It'll work every single time. With Mega Man, you do not have sufficient height. If he swoops high, or if he kind of swoops in the middle and then goes up high, and tries to fake you out that he's going to go low and you jump, and he goes high, you'll jump into him and you've got no chance for saving yourself. And also here, I wouldn't dare try and shoot Tengu actually while he's trying to do this. I'd just be concentrating on dodging. But again, with base's double jump, it's dead easy just to shoot a little bit while he's about to swoop on, and then just double jump out of the way. It is, and you always get 4 hits on him. If you don't get hit, he'll come in 4 times. So it's pretty much 4 free hits. And this attack here, where he swoops at you, with base's dash ability and the fact he's obviously got a double jump, you can just get out of range of that attack so much easier than Mega Man can. So yeah, my fight might take longer, but this is one fight that I would normally prefer Mega Man over base, just because you can do more damage. But this fight is definitely one I prefer with base, just because it's easy to hit Tengu, despite the fact that you might not have as many opportunities. But I tend to like to do a competent job where possible, and I don't like taking hits just left, right, and centre. Which is one of the things that, say, it's not that I dislike this game, but it ends up being my least favourite, just because ultimately I pride myself when I play these games, not just from a perfect perspective, but not actually try to do a decent job and not getting hit left, right, and centre. But this game, these bosses, all the enemies just in the levels, I just get hit so often. It becomes far less fun. Anyway, rant over. Base, of course, gets the exact same ability. I don't know if it's actually slightly differently coloured, but it works. All the weapons work in an absolutely identical way. The only one that would, if you want to pick holes, would be a copy vision that you get from Astro Man. Obviously, it creates a copy of Mega Man if you're playing as Mega Man, and a copy of Base if you're playing as Base. But all the other ones are, as far as I can tell, absolutely identical, save for the fact that they might be differently coloured. Anyway, level done, and that brings us to the CDs. And much like one of the other stages that I went through and pretty much didn't do any cuts, I'm not going to do too much cutting here because there's a CD there, as you see on the first screen. But getting to the CDs is a bit of a kind of a thing on this one for a lot of them, and actually the route that you need to kind of take to get them is quite important. So rather than just kind of like showing off just up the little bit kind of immediately before it, I think it's actually quite important to or useful to kind of show off the particular route. I mean, this bit's obviously as standard. I'm very impressed that I didn't actually dial there again. But anyway, come to the end of this auto-scrolling section, and thankfully it's on a platform where the auto-scrolling stops, otherwise this would be really, really mean and may even be impossible, given how long it takes for Rush to dig things out. But yeah, the final platform pretty much, before we go on to the next screen, there is a CD buried, so yeah, get out Rush Search and set him to work. So this brings us to the maze-like screen, if you will. I took the bottom route during the kind of main part of my Let's Play, but this time we're actually going to take, well, several alternate routes. So we're actually going to jump off to the left off of this balloon and go up to this area. We're going to take a slight detour first off, so I'm going to take out this cannon to the right. I'm going to go over to that area. I'm going to get out Ice Wall because I'm not actually sure whether it's absolutely necessary to clear that jump, but I'm not going to take any chances. I switched weapons there, by the way, simply because I just want to waste time with Ice Wall kind of going continually backwards and forwards. So by switching weapons, I got rid of the Ice Wall immediately. I couldn't be bothered to wait for it to finish crumbling. But anyway, having got that CD, we're going to go back to the area we just came from, and yeah, there's a set of spikes to the left-hand side. So we're going to get out Ice Wall once again. I'm going to push the Ice Wall over, and we're going to get to the top area of this level. So take out these birds. And there's an area right at the top for Rush to dig. We're still not done on this screen, by the way. And we're still not done with Ice Wall. Good grief. So we'll actually be seeing this area in a little bit as well, because I'm actually going to take a kind of not go the absolute upper route here. So you'll see here up to the right, there's an area past that cannon. I'll go that area with base, but for the Mega Man 1, I'm just going to drop down, collect another CD, and just going to take the lower route. And the reason I'm going to take the lower route is because there's another CD waiting here. In fact, I might even yes, no. I was getting too far ahead of myself. I wouldn't come to this screen if I went the upper route. But anyway, yeah, go the lower route, CD right in the middle of the platform, get Rush out, and yeah, everything is. There's a clear spot for sparkles there. So yeah, one screen on. This screen took ages to do, so I just skipped past that. And yeah, here's a demonstration of what happens if you get the final hit on the head. Basically, it all splits apart, and his head then chases you manically. So yeah, aim kill the head, or yeah. Get the final blow on the head. There was a CD there that was in plain sight. You're probably screaming at me during the regular Let's Play. Why on earth didn't you just go and get it? It's sitting right there. Of course I could have done, but I'm trying to get all the CDs in one go at the end of the videos. I screwed up there by putting Rush Search, by the way, in the wrong position. The telly was getting a little bit close, so I decided just to abandon that pathetic attempt with Rush Search in a terrible position. Kill some tellies and get Rush actually digging in the right place. Of course, you have to protect Rush there, because if the tellies whack into Rush, then he will lose, or his animation will be interrupted, and yeah, you'll have to do it all over again. Another CD in plain sight to get past this stupid cold mist thing. And one last CD to get the sparkles under that Sniper Joe. So again, keep it busy, take out the cold mist, and then take out the Sniper Joe. And the fact that it actually dropped, just in case I couldn't remember where to search, but the fact that it dropped some energy serves as a really good reminder, or really good flag point for where Rush should dig. So yeah, that's all the CDs that I'm going to get with Mega Man. Since we're at the end of the level, naturally it will be the case. And so yeah, let's get the remaining ones with base. And yeah, immediately we're going to get to the first one, which is going to be a limitation of the Game Boy Advance again. So this screen, you might not have appreciated there was an area to the right. We might have actually noticed that block up there. But yeah, I believe on the SNES version at least, there'd probably be remnants of a ladder there, so that you could actually see there was something there. Not so on the Game Boys. You can clearly see from there. Nothing in view. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, secret ladder there, or hidden ladder there, and yeah, obviously just use base to climb up and get it. So now we're going the upper route, as I mentioned before. I could get that CD in theory with Mega Man by using Ice Wall, but base with its double jump, it's far easier. But the main reason I kind of decided to do this area with base is there is one more CD here, and yeah, you can't really get that one with Mega Man. You're either going to need to use base's normal double jump ability just to try and get it, but even that's a pain in the neck, and I can never seem to do it consistently. So I just decide, fine, I'll waste time. I'll take a few hits, but I'll get out treble boost. Since I can just float around, and yeah, I won't risk messing up my double jump, falling down that hole, and then yeah, having to kind of restart the level over again and do it again. As you see, we drop down into this screen here with all the grenade lobbing enemies. And yeah, that's the last CD of this stage. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time for the next stage, part 7. Cheerio.